Hey guys, what's up? This is the first episode of the Lonely Guys podcast, or the otherwise known as Tim and Jones show, because we're two lonely guys that don't do anything in our free time except this.
And I'm Zach Jones, if that wasn't made clear. I am the Jones portion of this. And we're here to just, spits game, talk video games, and whatever else pops up.
Speaking of video games, Jones, what do you think about the new consoles coming out?
I'm pretty excited for them. I don't know a whole lot because I'm guessing a lot of it's going to come from E3 this year, which should be
but a lot of people were saying that it was going to come out E3 last year.
Yeah, but I mean, you've seen a lot of speculation from like IGN saying
IGN's complete garbage.
I mean, I disagree on that. I mean, they're not going to just post.
A lot of people say you can't spell ignorant without IGN, and I totally agree with that statement. Let's look,
man.
Call of Duties, all of them are like 9.5s or 9s.
Well, I mean, other websites have ranked them fairly high.
Why? Do you think
Probably because they're being paid.
Do you think that the genre of first-person shooters are owned by Call of Duty?
I think Call of Duty has made a significant mark. I think you can't really deny that. I think Modern Warfare, like it or not, I think you can't argue the fact that once it came out, everyone and their mother decided to make a futuristic military shooter where it was like, oh, get him, Shepard.
Okay, but let's look. If you're a small game company, okay, and you go to your boss and you say, I want to make a first-person shooter game. Military first-person shooter game.
Yeah.
That's a very, 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 very hard thing to get into because it's owned by Battlefield games, Medal of Honor games, Call of Duty games. When I think of first-person military shooter games, Call of Duty, Medal of Honor, Battlefield. 3 things I think of.
That's usually where most people make their mistakes, is trying to go do those games against those companies, and they make these cookie-cutter games that are crap, and they don't sell well.
Okay, well, I have another question for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Describe Skyrim in one word.
Boring.
Boring. Okay.
Boring is, I've tried getting into it a little bit. I genuinely like it, but there are times where it reaches a point, like, you want to know my first interaction with Skyrim?
Yeah.
Real talk? I was over at a buddy's house, and I was watching him play this game, and you know what he did? He chopped woods. Like, he took the wood, and he took the axe for 15 minutes. And I was like, this is the most boring game in the entire world. And maybe that's because this guy...
Well, then it goes into the argument of simulation games.
Well, I mean, this guy had the potential to join guilds and fight zombies and things, and he decided to chop wood for 15 minutes.
Gotta get my wood cutting level up.
Like, it just reached the point where it's like, you're doing menial tasks in an effort to get away from menial tasks. Like, I want to chop wood. Go outside and actually do it. Make money while you're at it.
There's simulation games like I was talking about earlier. Ridiculous. Street Sweeper Simulator.
Well, that's just...
I
think that's just funny.
You walk into a street sweeper and you clean streets. That's a game. Flight Simulator, okay, give or take. I've played a couple of those. Those are pretty fun, actually. But I mean, it's ridiculous.
Does anyone take
Bus
the
Simulator?
Street Sweeper thing?
Bus Simulator.
There's actually a hilarious Bus Simulator where it's like it takes
the physics engine
10 hours to complete.
Oh yeah, because you have to type in your code and give money. Ridiculous. What else?
There's one game, Enviro Bear. You ever play that one?
Oh yeah.
He plays a bear driving a car.
Great game.
He only can use his paw to operate one thing, so you can only shift or steer, put the gas pedal at once.
Oh yeah. Steambox. Rumors about Steambox coming out. You know anything about that?
I think it shows signs that Steam is trying to take on Xbox and Sony.
See, but if you look at Sony's records, they're going downhill.
I disagree.
You disagree with that?
I think they're doing fine.
But they did terrible with the Vita sales.
I think handhelds is... I think this is one of those big things where gaming companies are trying to do these old ways. I think... Okay, everyone has an iPhone now, right?
Yeah.
Handheld gaming now is basically casual based with this. So why should you plunk down $250 so you can have this big dumb thing that's not even already a phone?
But look at the graphics, and they're making it...
But most people, it's like at a certain
point... They're making it compatible with the PS3, where you can get on PSNs. That's,
yeah.
It's the guy from Portal 2. Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
Our producer is in the studio with us right now. He's
playing with his iPhone. Speaking of iPhones,
we love Michael, but yeah. So where were we?
Man, guy's blowing it.
You know, no, Tim.
You can cut that, right?
Yeah.
Well, we could cut it, but we're not because.
Well, this is all real. We pride ourselves.
This is real time. This is live.
But yeah. Next story up on the docket is THQ. Do you have?
Do we have a docket? Is there a little docket next to us? Is there going to be like ESPN where it's like next?
Well, the people at home don't know about this.
Oh,
but yeah, we do, Tim. So, yeah, THQ. Do you have any thoughts about that?
I haven't really heard much about THQ. I know they're going under. Is that what I hear?
Yeah, they're basically bankrupt.
Who's buying most of their stuff?
They're gonna have an open auction for a lot of their stuff on like
Dude,
the 20th.
Let's go to that auction.
But like there's certain properties, like the big one is South Park: The Stick of Truth is an RPG they're coming out with.
Time out.
Yes.
Get a real troublesome feeling about this game.
Why?
I've seen screenshots. Great. Yeah. Looks like the show. Awesome. Fantastic. I'm a fan of the show personally. But
and did you know the show's creators are writing?
Yeah, I knew that, but I don't know how they're going to make this a good game.
Really, with Obsidian, the guys who've done the Fallout games, the show's creators are going to be a part of it.
One, I'm not a fan of Obsidian because I know they made the old Fallouts. I know they did something with New Vegas. I wasn't a fan of New Vegas. I haven't played the old Fallout, so I don't know. I don't have an opinion about that. But New Vegas, bollocks, complete and utter.
Really, he didn't. Compared to what? Just the original Fallout.
Compared to Fallout 3, I played the poo out of Fallout 3. And then I was excited.
Similar.
I was excited for New Vegas. I got it, and I was like, "What is this? Something about
you really
chip?
Didn't like
something
it?
About a chip? Why is my HUD orange?
I thought it was more of the same.
My HUD's not green; it's orange. Granted, you can change that. It changed that right away. The story was complete and utter terrible. Hated it. I didn't like the new maps
I think it
or
sort
environment.
of falls into. I guess New Vegas was more open-ended.
Did you play both?
Yeah. I played Fallout. I didn't beat it, but I know how it ends.
What about, so, were you a fan of Fallout 3 or New Vegas more?
That's rough. I kind of like the freedom New Vegas had. Like, I liked actually going to New
How
Vegas.
It was super open, and then there was this big place, New Vegas, where Vegas was.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't stand that element of it. Because I felt like, okay, I'm walking in the same direction for 2 hours. There's nothing but desert. Everything looks the same. Oh, occasionally come up on a building.
From Fallout 3, though.
See, but Fallout 3, there was these cities. You could be in a city for a long time.
Yeah.
You'd occasionally walk in these desolate areas, which was awesome because I was never in those desolate areas for a while. I always stayed in the cities looking for stuff, which I thought was interesting because you'd be walking in a city. Occasionally, you'd find like a raider camp. I'd blow all their heads off and take all their equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Fallout 3, they had the tunnel system, which was a big fan of me. You could get lost in them super easy, which I thought was cool. There was ghouls running around everywhere, which was freaky. In New Vegas, I didn't get that. I didn't get that at all. I didn't like the whole factions. Get that out of there. What are you thinking?
Not that added
factions?
Strategy.
Ugh. Ugh.
But
Ugh.
back on topic, so THQ, so you're not a fan of South Park, but again, you know, that brings up the good point. We don't know who's going to have the rights to publish it since THQ is going to effectively be dead. So they're saying the big thing is it could go to Microsoft. Yeah. Big fan of me. Guy over here making fun of me for talking. It could go to Microsoft, which would be a big deal.
Because isn't on their website? It says.
Yeah, you can see they've already got PS3 pre-orders.
Now, what do you think could happen?
I think it's going to go to Microsoft. There's going to be a big hubbub.
That would be awesome. That would just put Sony more in the hole, though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can pre-order this. Oh, it's not even for the PS3.
Yeah.
I'm not getting a PS3, huh? Which could totally go the opposite way.
And I think that and Saints Row is going to go to Activision.
Activision, that'd be interesting. Did you play the third one?
I think I tried a demo.
As a fan of the series, I liked the first one a lot.
Yeah.
Second one was meh, give or take. I enjoyed it, but a little too over the top. You're putting acid in tattoo guns. Come on, grow up. What are you thinking? 3, complete garbage.
Well, I remember reading about this. Someone was talking about
Like, it used to be Grand Theft Auto was both story-based and this wacky-go-lucky game. And they said, while Grand Theft Auto tried to reach a point where it's like, play as Nico Bellic as he has to do taxes and go bowling. You know? And try to tell this deep, dark, emotional story.
See, but would you rather want that, or would you rather want a guy that's jacked out of his mind running around naked with a giant dildo?
I think they're two different gameplay styles.
See, but in the first one, they didn't go for that. They wanted the realism factor, and I think that people were like, oh, Saints Row versus Grand Theft Auto. I think they were doing that a lot, so in the second one, they made it more over the top, made it more game-related. And then they were still comparing the two, and then with the third one, they just, okay, well, let's be a game that's open-based, still gang-related, but let's just go totally out of the top. Like, you're running through airplanes, falling through windows, parachuting with no parachute, killing people, throwing cars at them. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I think they should have kept the realism factor, and I think it would have been interesting to see Grand Theft Auto with this big, like, clash with Saints Row, you know? I think that would have been interesting to see.
You know, it's always possible, but I think as it is now, I think Activision's going to get it. We're going to get more of the same, so deal with it.
Do you think that they're going to release Fallout 4?
Fallout 4? Yes.
Bethesda does have rights to release one.
Oh, well, it's only a matter of time. With the way the game industry is now, there's too much cash cow.
Do you think it's going to be for the next generation consoles?
Yes.
Because if you look at new games coming out, such as The Last of Us, and you got Two Souls from the Heavy Rain creators, have you seen anything on that?
No.
It looks amazing. You got a couple more games coming out they're confirmed for this generation consoles, so how long is it going to take for us to get our hands on the new gen?
As far as I've heard, it's going to be, this is going to be the last main year for releases on the modern consoles. Now, that's not to say like in 2014...
There'll be a new PS3 game.
There'll be new PS3 games. I think PS3, honestly, it's going to be like PS2, where it'll be like, we'll be sitting here in 2020
They just continued.
Because remember, PS2 was just now.
Just now.
Because you could get like NCAA 2012 on the PS2.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be like, we'll be in like 2019 going, they still make PS3 games?
Because Madden, I think it was 11 or 12, was a game made for the PS2, and I was at Meijer, I think, and I saw it in the case, and it was worth like $25.
Yeah, PlayStation games always like.
And I was like, wow, what are you thinking?
For ages.
I was like, why would I buy Madden 2012 $25 for the PS2?
There's like the original PlayStation.
Oh
like, lasted till like 2006.
Absolutely.
It's like what grandma in Arizona is like.
I bought Final Fantasy X, Silent Hill 4, and Final Fantasy X-2 for I think around $10 total, and I bought a PS2 for $30.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's a console and 3 games for under $60. $60.
I think you're sort of at that point, and this is always interesting to see games. Is there comes a point in games where we have the high retail price it starts out at, then it goes down for sales, and then it'll either stay down because it's a crappy game, but there's some games like Final Fantasy
series.
Final Fantasy
7's $70 on eBay.
Yeah, at some point that game, I hear people talking about, like, at some point that game was like, we have 60 copies of these, they're not selling, you can have it for $20. And then people are like, oh wait, nerds will buy this for $70.
Yeah.
So.
Do you think that's going to happen with PS3 games?
Possibly. Certainly.
See, I don't know about that.
I think they're really good games.
That's interesting.
And there's always certain factors. You know, Super Smash Brothers, the original, believe it or not, will retail for about $40.
Really?
That game was hugely popular. Everyone had a copy of it, but for some reason, if you want a new one, it costs you $40.
That's absolutely bizarre. I think that classic games like Final Fantasy and stuff like that, I think that if there is a game like that for PS3, and I can't name any right now off the top of my head.
God of War 3?
God of War 3. I think that'll... See, but I think for the next generation consoles, if they come out with another one, they're going to just keep releasing these BS trilogies for us to, I gotta get the trilogy, it's got all of them on it, but even though in 5 years there's gonna be another trilogy with 2 more games on it, you know?
Yeah, it's just
I think that, like, especially these past couple years with all these trilogy games and all these collection games, I think that that's not gonna stop.
Yeah.
Like when Bungie released the rights for Halo, first thing Microsoft did was make a collection.
Yep.
Halo Combat Evolved. Waste your money on this to get all games.
It just speaks to a larger problem with the gaming industry now, where it's people are really afraid to take risks. There's just so much money involved. So you got to put at least $1 million into a game company. You don't want to take here's my wacky new idea. It's about. Can you imagine if they pitched Mario now? Oh. It's a wacky plumber and he jumps on turtles. Did you get the hell out of my office?
Get out of here, you quack.
So now it all has to be these established properties.
I think
even Capcom, I remember seeing some number. They said 70 to 80% of our development needs to be on existing properties.
Yeah.
Everyone's just too scared to do anything.
And it's scary for the actual game industry itself.
But movies are the same way.
Oh, yeah. Many
sequels we have, and let's do this on a popular
Mission
novel.
Impossible 9. I think, I'll say it once and I'll say it again, I think the heart and soul of the game industry is in indie games. Whether it be Xbox Live Arcade, PSN games, I think that independent game companies will be the future for the game industry.
I don't know about the future, but I think the last bastion of creativity.
I think I think it's going to be the future. I mean, Super Meat Boy, that's sold.
What do you define as future? Like they'll exist in the future.
I think that we're going to have still a game industry because of indie games.
I guess, but
I mean, that's my personal opinion. I look at games today. Yeah. I see the same thing. 80% of the time.
Do you think there could be, like in the 80s, like 83, there was a huge video game crash for a certain reason? Do you think that's possible, where the market could just stagnate to the point where it costs too much to make really good games, and gamers just
100%.
Gamers just don't, like, at a certain point, even the most hardcore fans will be like, you know what, Madden 2019 is the same as Madden 2018.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste $60 on this.
And the giant mansion on the stilts is just going to collapse. You think that's possible?
I think that it is possible, and I think that if it does happen, it will happen in the very near future, which is scary. I want to say that... See, I don't know. Part of me is like, consoles are going to fall way behind. A lot of PC gamers say, "Oh, why would you buy the next generation console when I have it already?" You know?
Yeah.
Like a lot of PC gamers, I can play this on Ultra, and it looks 10 times better with your new generation console on HD.
Yeah.
So I think that I think consoles are going to fall behind these next generation. I mean, granted, consoles are never going to really fall behind next generation consoles. Everybody's going to want to buy one.
Yeah.
Because I think they'll be so, I gotta buy the next console, but well, I already have a computer, I have a laptop, like what do I need that for? I think that a lot of gamers, per se, with consoles don't take PC gaming into consideration. They use PCs as, I can play Minecraft on this, right? Is that...
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Well...
I mean, again, if anybody has opinions to share, please... leave them in the comments below, and then we will discuss them on next week's show, and then that'll be good. Do you have anything else to say?
Nope. I just want to thank you guys for listening, and
we're going to have 0 listeners.
Time. Well, maybe when we're big and famous, this will be the original #1 episode. Yeah. We'll have this in an archive somewhere, and we'll release it for $1 million.
And then someone will buy it.
So, see you guys.